just wiping off the excess chalk since I'm using pastel or charcoal chalk, I should say, pencil to draw my drawing. I don't want that loose pigment on there to impact my paint, so I just wipe it off and then I can start painting. I'll always start off with my biggest brush and then start whittling down to smaller brushes as I continue working. It can help when drawing ovals with a brush. You don't have to make it a perfect smooth oval. You can go around and kind of use little straight edges around to kind of whittle it as well. That can almost look more naturalistic than a perfect smooth oval would. And to get a dry brush with an acrylic paint, anything that dries quickly, I'm just gonna to get a soft edge, pardon me, with a dry brush. To get a soft edge with acrylic paint, I'm just going to dry brush. So I load up my brush really well, and then I just kind of wipe it off and let it just kind of barely kiss the surface of the painting. And that way, it gives me a bit of a rough look, which from distance just seems soft. That edge feels much softer than that edge because of that dry brush technique. With oil painters, you can just paint it and then use a soft brush to kind of blend in. And I'll just go over any areas that I know are going to be lighter later, because I can always overlap the light values on top of the dark and it will sit nicely. I can just cover up some of those background areas, even though I toned my surface before I started painting. I don't want to be too precious with that background. I can go right over it, but I can bring it back in again later as well where I need to be lighter. Many of these colors I see inside the cup are a little bit more grayish, a little more bluey gray than what's going on around the cup, especially in this water area. And don't worry about the lip of the cup too much. I can go back in and put it in again later. But I just want to get the basics of what I see. And where I see a soft edge, where I see the color just slowly fading into another color, I dry brush or blend. Especially with something shiny like water or glass or metal, I see a lot of hard edges and high contrast between edges, but I also see a lot of soft edges in some transition areas as well. So it's that combination of hard and soft edges and high contrast that help give the feeling of water in a cup. There are going to be places, especially around the rim, where it's not going to be a solid dark line. There might be actually a lighter line in places. So really take a look and see, you know, what the value is, how dark or how light something is. In places, the background color that we have here, this kind of brownish color, it might be darker inside the cup, but a lot of times it's also lighter where it's inside the cup. So really just kind of take a look, squint your eyes as you're looking at your resource to see, is the color you're looking at lighter or darker? As you start to pay attention to some more of the details, really check to see, is the color more bluish gray or is it more of a brownish gray? And that's the difference between color temperature, whether the color is warmer or cooler. So if I have a brown and blue mixture for my grays, it's easy for me to be able to change my color temperature. More blue and the color is cooler. If I add more brown, then the color is warmer. And it can be subtle, but that back and forth difference can really make the piece look richer rather than just doing everything the same shade of gray, which can flatten the piece. And I just continue layering the lights on top, getting a bit lighter and lighter as I go along, as much or as little as I need to. Every now and then squinting my eyes to reassess. And I don't need to put in every single little detail, but just the main shapes, and that's where that squinting really does help. And that dry brush, just wipe off your brush and just kind of feather it. Plus, then it allows you to kind of go over other areas. Like there's a sheen on the glass. Really pushing and wiggling that paint into that brush.